Minutes. What's going on?
Totally okay. Okay.
Sorry, Alicia. Get down. Don't eat my sandwich. Don't even think about it. Oh, my dog just almost got my sandwich. All right, go ahead. Okay.
So we need to think of a strategy on how we're going to negotiate with Jennifer and Mallory about getting a safer work environment, or a reasonable income and job security.
Well, oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
Oh, go ahead.
They were trying to take away some of the pay, which I don't think is reasonable, because they were saying that, yes, they moved into a new plant, but the plant had been doing better. So even though plants around them weren't doing well, which was the reason they were using, I don't think it's a legitimate reason to take away pay if our personal company itself is making money. And
right. They said that they had taken over the market share of those companies that had failed.
Yes. But then we're trying to say, like, look, everyone's failing. We're going to, take away your pay or freeze it.
Yeah. Right. They weren't failing. So there's no need for it. Like, they were still making money.
Yeah.
I think that should be our standing point. Like, hey, you guys took over the market share of the failing businesses. You guys we have enough business and we're producing more. So we don't need, because it even says they're operating at a 20% higher production levels. So they're producing more. So they're keeping up with the demand and doing more. So there's no reason that they can't.
They were trying to use the Me Too clause, which it says this clause pegged Baxter wages and benefits to those of the top 5 consumer processing companies around them. So that's why they were trying to say, oh, look, everyone else is closing and doing bad. We're going to use the Me Too clause.
Which I felt was really irresponsible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was weird. And then another thing is, like, it says that since they sped up production, it was more dangerous. And I don't think that that's fair to put people in dangerous working situations and also cut their pay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they needed to make safety a priority.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if it meant making
connected with our doohickeys paper that I started writing for mine was that when safety becomes an issue, you have to motivate people to want to do good work, and so you have to pay them more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To account for that risk.
Yeah. Okay, so and then the last thing is they were laying off, like, the older or the more veteran workers, and there are these, like, new ones take place, and we want job security. So those are, like, our 3 things that we kind of need to fight for, but I don't really know the best way. So with the
I agree with that, because I think if you've worked somewhere for 30 years and you're older and then you lose your job, really, where are you going to go get a job? I mean,
right. And they're taking away the more skilled employees, which are leading to more injuries. Like what they said was that the new training at the new facility was done by people who had just started working. And so they started seeing more instances of injury because these new people haven't had time on the job. If they want, and I feel like, they had mentioned that the whole escrow account was accounting for, I feel like they were just trying to get rid of the old people to get rid of that escrow account where they could pay lower wages.
Yes.
But they're like endangering people by doing that. So if they want to do that, what they need to do, because they still have the 52-week notice, right?
Yes, they have to give years notice.
I feel like that 52-week notice, though, like if somebody said, hey, I'm going to lay you off in a year, I'm going to check out. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm not going to do my best then, because I know I have a year to make a pay. So I feel like almost that is not a good
idea.
Situation.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's there to protect the employee so that if you're told you're going to get let go, you have time to go
get a job.
Yeah, like, hey, we're going to let you go. That would be kind of nice if you were going to get fired, for someone to say you have a year to go find another job and sell your house if you need to, or whatever you need to do.
And that was put in clause as like, is that a clause? Maybe Karen, is that something that they do just like in times of like economic downswing, when they're like, hey, we know that we're not going to be able to make it, so you have a year?
I think that is why people like unions, because unions protect you in a way that no other company would do this unless a union forced them to.
But didn't they just recently do that in Detroit with like some, I think I remember them talking about like knowing that the plant was going to close, so they gave everybody a year's notice or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember that recently being in the news. Anyways.
The only situation I've personally been in is the body shop I worked at one point was at a Toyota dealership. And then union came in and talked to the guys and got the guys wanting the union, but the owner didn't want union. Mm-hmm. And so what ended up happening was the union hired, they seriously at the local bars put signs up that said minimum wage to hold signs. And they had people in front picketing. Uh-huh. And we would have customers call saying, we're really sorry we can't come today. It would be older gentlemen saying, I'm an ex-union employee and I'd never cross a line. But the people picketing didn't even work there. They were just getting paid minimum wage signs. And they did it on purpose to try to pressure the owner. Right. And it took a huge fight. And in the end, they didn't come in. But they were taking, the union I felt was taking some bad tactics to try to push their way in.
With your experience?
Yeah, go ahead.
Environment, do you like the union? I don't know much about them.
No, it's one of our shops was union, and the owner was saying it just cost him so much more money. He had to pay them so much more. You know, from his standpoint, I didn't work at that shop. He would just say, you know, it's really expensive. It's harder for companies to stay in business because the union fights for prevailing wage and all these other extra things that they get that all our guys in our other shops don't, and we can't afford it.
So do you think that, I bet that that's what the Baxter people are going to say. They're going to say you guys are too expensive. The average, because what they're saying right now, the average rate is $9 an hour, and we're demanding $1.70 more almost. Mm-hmm. So how do we fight back on that?
I think we could bring in like the safety of the work.
Mm-hmm.
We could also talk about how they are doing better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Because I bet that'll be one of their main
things. Mm-hmm. I didn't read their side ahead of time. Yeah, I kind of wanted to be able to.
Yeah, negotiate like we don't know what they're doing.
Surprised
we
and actually
did a big negotiation in one of my other classes, and same thing. But our instructor sent us each side, so we didn't even have access to it, and it like really got heated. Like one guy. Oh my gosh, it was about like, we were discussing terms for an acquisition, and he got so like emotionally involved, and his other teammates were like wanted to go on our side and agree to the terms that we had set, but he was like dead set on this one chick being on the board, and he got so mad. Like he was yelling at me. He's like, what are those talking points? Did they give you, like, being almost insulting? And I was like, hold on, buddy.
It is a class, like, calm down.
I am. It was fun. Like, it was a really cool discussion, but it got heated. So I kind of like not knowing, because it makes it more.
I remember the owner at one point talking about perhaps closing that shop down. And moving it, because I think if they opened in another location, they could say it's no longer union. It was something weird. I don't remember all the details.
Oh, really? Huh.
They did not like it at all. They wanted it gone.
They wanted it out.
But when they bought the company, that location was already union, and so and their other ones weren't.
Interesting. That's really crazy. Well, do we feel like we're ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's find them. Are we gonna just add them to ours or have them?
That's what I was wondering. Do we have to stop this one and start a new one and just submit more than one video, the leader this week, or how does that work?
Maybe we need to do that, probably. That's retarded. It's like 3 different HOAs. That's retarded.
We're ready when you are. So are we adding?
I just sent that.
Yeah, that
was
I didn't save anyone's numbers, so sometimes, like, here, I'll save yours now that I know that's you.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't save names too.
Oh, that was so dumb to not do that. So that's Jordan. And then, Karen, which one's yours? Like, what?
Mine is the 530 number.
Okay, sweet. All right, now I at least have 2 people.
I can tell you who the other ones are.
Okay, that was like the dumbest thing. I don't know why I didn't like save the number. But
when I was in Mexico, I thought it was backwards. And so I was like, do I have to do like a 7 o'clock in the morning meeting?
Did you go to the meeting?
I did, but it was 11. Does that make, it was 2 hours later, not 2 hours earlier. So
ours was, because we were 3 hours behind. So like, it would have been 8:30 for me. And I totally could have done it, but we were getting ready to go snorkeling, I think.
Yeah, no, I did it. But I had it backwards at first and was thinking, oh, I don't think I'm going to do it because I don't want to get up super early.
Yeah, no kidding.
Later. So it was fine.
Mallory's is the 559 number.
All right, perfect. Got them all. Okay.
Jennifer's?
Oh, so Jennifer said, sound good. Did you guys make a large group one yet?
Mm.
No. So I guess we have to just like exit off.
So end this one, and then I think you guys will end up submitting 3.